Alright, I'm on the die roll and I'm on the play, and this hand is a BBD special.
No land double probe.
So I would be a little remiss to mulligan it, so I'm going to keep it and hope we get there.
Yeah, my hand is a little bit taxing on the life, but that's to be assumed when you're playing this kind of a card and a mana base like this. So hopefully we just try to mitigate that as much as possible.
Alright, colonnade go.
Alright, so we don't have a ton to do on turn 1 other than just like casting Serum Visions, but I'd rather go ahead and find my red source. And the weird thing about Serum Visions in Modern, as opposed to like Ponder and Brainstorm and Legacy, is that you usually want to fetch before casting it, so that you get maximum value out of the scry. So I'm going to be at 17. And it is a little dangerous to deal so much damage to myself against a deck like Brian, since he does have Bolts and Lightning Helix as well as Snapcaster Mage. But we gotta do what we gotta do. Scry 2, basically just looking for some lands. I think I don't want this card right now. We can maybe find it again later if we shuffle again. So you're up.
Alright, draw. That was not the droid we're looking for, so go ahead and get Gitaxian Probe.
Alright, we have 2 remands, Dismember, Twin, Serum, Snap, Pool. Alright, so 18 to 17.
Alright, draw. I'll play a Flooded Strand and say go.
Alright, well that's good for us, since he didn't play Young Pyromancer there. We're going to play the Scalding Tarn even though we're giving away the information, just because we want to keep thinning our deck and find basics if we can help it.
You're passing the turn?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to fetch and get a tapped Steam Vents. So I'm at 17.
Okay. Another reason to play the Tarn over the Breeding Pool is that since he knows we have Remand, we don't want to shock ourselves with the Breeding Pool, but we also want to make sure that we hold up for Remand. So by playing this, we can effectively just play Pool, tap next turn, and continue to hold up Remand.
Alright, so I don't really want to just jam a spell directly into his Remand, so I'm just going to say go.
Alright, I'll draw. We'll play the Breeding Pool and continue passing the turn.
I will continue to fetch.
Alright, 16.
And here I just want to get... I'm not sure. I guess I'll get a Sacred Foundry, just so we have double access to all of our colors. Could end up being awkward for us though, depending on what we draw.
One thing I like to stress about playing a deck like Temur Twin is that it's not always about trying to find the combo. A lot of times it just means you want to be patient with things. Like I haven't cast a Serum Vision because I've been wanting to hold up for Remand. Like I could have shocked myself, but I'd rather keep my life total high. So,
all right, I'm gonna go to 14.
Okay,
you're up.
All right, now here it's a little strange. What I'm going to assume that he has is Bolt and then Snap Bolt. So what I can do is instead of fetching end of turn here, I can just untap and continue to threaten that, and that way he can't do that while I'm tapped low, not tapped out. All right, a little awkward. I guess we will just continue to play these steps as they go.
Alright, here I'm just going to try to get a little bit of an advantage, so I am going to Cryptic Command choosing Bounce Draw.
Alright, and that'll put me up to 8 and have to discard, so I think remanding this is okay. He might get a little, or get Mentor into play and start doing some stuff with it, but we also have a removal spell for it and really want to, go ahead, but really want to make sure we hit all our land drops and keep them in play and stuff. Right,
12. Alright, I'm going to cast Monastery Mentor.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to 10 and Gitaxian Probe. So I'm doing a lot of damage to myself here.
Alright, gonna assume he has Mana Leak. But I don't want him to keep making the Prowess tokens. I also don't really want to take 4 damage for this Dismember and have it get countered. I think I want to use my mana efficiently, and next turn I can do some stuff. So we're gonna get.
So 16 and then 12.
Yes.
All right, I will mana leak it.
All right, so you get another
Prowess token.
prowess token, and here's my hand.
All right, so he has drawn an additional remand, has drawn an additional dismember. There's still a Serum Vision, a Snapcaster Mage, and 1 Twin, which I think was still in there before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And I'll draw a card from the probe. And I'll probe you again.
Okay, you're at 8.
That's a good draw. I'm at 8. And hopefully I don't get bolted out of this game, but you're up.
Yeah. Alright, I will play Serum Vision.
Okay.
Draw. Scry 2. A couple of good ones on top. Not really sure what I want to do though. It's unlikely that I'm going to be able to combo Brian this game. I'm already at a pretty low life total from the Dismember. But we don't have enough removal to actually kill all the tokens. So we're going to probably just be taking a billion damage. Suppose I can keep them both on top as a alternate plan of attack. So if we go to 8. Alright, so I'll go to 8 and kill this.
Okay.
Really wish I had just drawn bolts. I will say go. And yeah, I guess just go.
Alright, I'm gonna draw for turn. Well, that was a good one. Alright, I'll attack, or I'll go to combat.
I'll tap 1.
Alright, I'm going to Cryptic Command to counter your Pestermite and draw a card.
Okay.
And trigger Prowess on all of these.
Yeah, you have bolt.
And then I have Bolt.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, Mentor, some good.
that was pretty sweet.
Alright, I'm on the play here for game 2, and this hand looks a little bit better. Still going to deal ourselves a bunch of damage, but I think that's okay.
This hand's not that good, but I'm going to keep it and really bank on this card pulling it out for us.
Alright, you're up.
Alright, that was a good one. Let's start with the Serum Visions. Sure. We draw this, which is bad. And then I want to keep both of these, so you're up.
Misty, go.
Alright, here, I don't want to cast this yet. I think I just play this and say go.
We'll go get a Stomping Ground and tapped. So 19 to 20. Come on, Tarmogoyf. Play this and then untap this and say go.
Okay. Alright. Well, I think that our best play is to just play this and pass.
Tap, draw. Play text. 2.
Yep, 18.
Don't really want to do anything here. Kind of want to force him to start playing stuff before I do, since I have a little pressure. But he could just be taking damage from this and then just going to Helix at the end of turn. So maybe playing this is better. And since it can't die to Bolt, and if it resolves, I'll say go.
It does resolve.
All right,
I'll fetch.
sure.
And I'm just gonna get a. I think that I want to just get actually probably Sacred Foundry at this point. Get access to red and another white source.
Yeah. Alright, so right now we're at 2-3 on Tarmogoyf. So a Bolt would make it 3-4 and not kill it. Yeah.
Yeah, it will not die to Bolt. Alright, we drew that, which is a bad draw. I will cast a Young Pyromancer.
Well, it resolves.
And then I will cast Serum Visions, triggering Young Pyromancer.
I will bolt in response.
I will respond by bolting Pestermite.
Okay.
So I could have cast the Pyromancer last turn, but I wanted to wait until I was able to basically make that play. So we draw this from the Serum Visions, and we get to scry 2. It's interesting. So I think we want to draw this, but we don't want to draw this, so I'm going to bottom this one.
Okay.
And you're up.
Electrolyze would be great. Land would be fine too. That was not what I wanted to draw. We'll go and crash for 4.
Well, let's see. I think that I'm okay taking 4 one time. So
right. 13 and 19. We'll go ahead and play another Pestermite, untapping the Steam Vents just to play around Mana Leak. And
I should be at
14,
right?
You've gotten hit with this for 2.
And then I
fetched and hit, and then you got
right.
hit for 4.
Yeah, 13, and you're at 19.
Yep, you're go.
All right, we'll draw. I'm just gonna play this tapped and attack for 1.
Take 1 down to 18.
And you're up.
Alright, untap, draw. Attack step. Attack for 6.
Alright, this time I'm going to chunk the Goyf.
Alright, so you take 2 down to 11.
Yep.
And I'm done.
Alright, end of turn, I'm going to attempt to bounce Tarmogoyf and draw a card.
Sure. And still well tapped out. I don't really want to get Snap Cryptic, so I'm just going to play Snapcaster Mage and Bolt you.
Okay, Medi.
You go.
Alright, so here I think that I just want to play a Monastery Mentor, then play Snapcaster Mage and Bolt Pestermite and get a token.
Okay.
And then attack you for 1.
17 to 8.
You're up.
Drew the land, but it's a little late. But I suppose I'll just go ahead and dismember this. I go to 13. Or I'm sorry, I need to tap it like that. Fetch an island and then play Tarmogoyf, holding up these Steam Vents.
So you're at 12 then?
Yep. And I'll attack for 2.
Alright, I'm going to block, and I think that I actually would rather have a Prowess token than a Snapcaster Mage.
That is reasonable.
So, we'll put Snap on Snap.
Alright, you're up.
And now, let's see what we draw. That was not a good one. Then cut. Let's see. I'm just going to play a Colonnade and say go.
Alright. Check.
I'll jump with this.
Alright, well we still don't want to run into Snapcaster Cryptic Command, so I don't really know what to do here. I suppose a Snapcaster bouncing my Tarmogoyf and drawing a card is still pretty bad since he has Celestial Colonnade active. So what I can do is just try to play a Jace, and then he'll probably go counter it and bounce this. I don't know how good or bad that is. Alright, we'll try it.
Alright, well I'm definitely firing this off, but I have to decide what I want to do with it. I'm definitely countering, but I'm not sure if I want to bounce Goyf or draw a card. With him at 12 and me having a Colonnade in play, I think I just want to bounce the Goyf. So I'll counter and bounce.
Okay, you're up.
And then I'm going to just try to get there with Colonnade, probably. Draw. That was another bad draw. I'll activate Colonnade and attack for 5.
Alright, 7 to 8.
And you're up.
Alright, I will play a Tarmogoyf, I guess.
Okay.
And pass.
Untap, draw. I feel like we're gonna get Pestermited or Deceivered, but I don't really think that there's a different line to take here, so activate colonnade.
Okay.
Go to attacks.
Yep.
Attack for 4.
I'm at 3.
Alright. Go.
Alright, I'll try to bolt the monk.
Alright. You have 2 cards in your hand?
Yep.
Goyf is 4 or 5 right now?
He's a 5-6.
5-6 because of Jace. Yeah. Alright, well, I think I have to act on that. I would prefer to not give him a land to work with, but I think I don't want him to be able to untap and cast stuff, so I'll path that, and this does get bolted.
Okay. Alright, well, drawing pretty slim here. We have more outs if we draw a land. Basically, just have to find a way to stop the colonnade from hitting us. Alright, we'll draw. Alright, play Jace.
Okay.
Tick it down.
Sure. Let's do probe by itself.
Yep, dead. Alright, so for my side, I feel like comboing with Splinter Twin is next to impossible. So we're going to try to basically just shift to a Tarmogoyf tempo style deck with a bunch of removal and things to really mess with Brian and his creatures. It might not end up being the best course of action, but we're going to slow our deck down a lot with things like Pyroclasm, Karanos Batterskull, Staticaster, and even a Dispel tossed in as a cheapo counterspell. And we're going to trim the things that are a little more clunky, like the Splinter Twins, the Exarchs, the Jaces. And since the Dismembers deal so much damage, they're more of a liability than a help, so we're going to cut those.
Alright, well, I'm going to bring in Vendilion Click and Counterflux. Vendilion Click's just a good way to see like if the coast is clear for me to make various plays, and just a way for me to hold open a counterspell and then still do something in a turn. And I'm going to cut 2 Helixes because they only really kill Pestermite, and a Bolt for the exact same reason, and then a land because the games are probably going to go long, and I don't want to flood out too badly.
Alright, we're here for game 3. I'm on the play, and my hand looks pretty good for this matchup, so we're definitely going to keep it.
Stands a little awkward, but I'm definitely going to keep it as well.
Alright, again, we're going to conserve our life total, just play the Breeding Pool tapped.
Alright, I'm not going to conserve my life total. I'm going to go to 17 and then Serum Visions.
Sure.
Since I need access to Steam Vent's mana, so we will take a hit of life to be able to do that. Alright, I draw this, which wasn't a great draw, and then I get to scry 2, and I don't want this, but I do want this card, so I'll leave this on top and bottom that. You're up.
Alright. Well, our Tarmogoyf is sufficiently safe from everything except Path Exile, so we'll go ahead and cast that.
Okay. I am just going to play Young Pyromancer as I go.
Alright, well, no need to tip our hand just yet, I don't think. Keep deploying to the board if we want. Play this.
Okay.
Attack for 2.
Yep, I take it. 15.
Here we go.
Alright. Draw. Oh, wasn't exciting. We'll just play this tapped. And attack for 2.
I don't mind blocking here, because if you kill Spellsky, we actually just get a giant Tarmogoyf, so I'll block.
Sure, your turn.
Alright, untap. Suppose now would be an okay time to go ahead and fire this off, maybe?
So you're going to 19.
No, maybe not. I think I'm actually content just sitting. I'll go ahead and type for 2.
Sure, I got a 13.
Here we go.
Alright, hopefully we draw a land. It's not land, but maybe it will draw us into one. Let's go ahead and probe for 2 life.
Sure. Pyroclasm, Electrolyze, Dispel, Misty Rainforest.
Alright.
So
Pyro. 11. Electro. Dispel. Misty. Alright, that's going to be kind of hard to beat, but we'll give it a shot. We did draw a land, which is great. And I'll just say go.
Alright, well, in the sake of using our mana efficiently, I think we want to just go ahead and Electrolyze at the end of turn. We'll target these two.
I will mana leak it and get a token.
We'll just get a mountain. And I think I'm okay with that. I can play my land next turn and then Pyroclasm and play around a second copy of Mana Leak or something like that. And I don't really want to use my Dispel. I kind of want to save that for a Cryptic Command, but now that we're on the board, maybe drawing a card is more important. So I think I actually will just... Well, Pyroclasm can also sweep away the extra token so you don't have a blocker. Alright, that's fine. Mana Leak is good.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I'm at 19. Alright, untap. I will cast Pyroclasm.
Okay.
And attack for, this is a 4 now? 4/5?
Yep.
Okay.
So I go to 9.
I had you at 11 from a probe unless I...
Oh yeah, I missed the probe. I go to 7.
Alright, so 7 and 19?
Yep.
Here you go.
I'll go to 6 and fetch. Try to get a white source here. We know he still has a Dispel, which is going to be a problem, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Hopefully we draw something good here. I guess that's fine. I will cast Young Pyromancer.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 2 to probe.
4.
Yep.
And I drew a Cryptic.
Alright, that's actually pretty bad too. Alright, draw for that. And I'll say go.
Right. We'll go ahead and fetch Steam Vents. Going to 18. Cut. You're at 4.
I am at 4.
Alright. I will tap your team and bounce this.
Alright, I have to decide. Alright, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. Attack.
Oh, wait, so that. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
figured you had like a counter spell or a path.
I have both of these, but no matter how I do it, I get dispelled.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yeah.
If I drew a land, I could do both, which would have been great.
Now, real quick, the reason I just actually want to pull out your Young Pyromancer again real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about this because this was a little more complicated than I made it out to seem. So
Yeah.
normally what people would do in this situation is go tap all your creatures, draw a card.
Right.
But with Young Pyromancer and or Monastery Mentor, it's a little bit awkward there because after that happens, Brian could play something to make a blocker.
Yep.
So by tapping his only other blocker in play by saying tap all creatures and then bouncing the Young Pyromancer, it makes it so after this ability resolves, he's no longer able to generate a blocker for the Tarmogoyf.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's a... If he didn't bounce this, I could have pathed his Goyf.
And even if I redirect it, he still gets a blocker.
Yeah, even if he redirects it, I still have a blocker, and then I can untap and play Snapcaster Path with Mana Leak or whatever, so... Yeah. Alright, we are here for game 4, and my hand's a little slower, but it looks solid, so I'll keep it.
My hand's pretty good. Might deal us a lot of damage, but hopefully not. So.
Alright, Colonnade and pass.
Alright. Go ahead and play this. I'm just going to get an island.
Okay.
This could come back to bite us later, but our other fetch land can just get Stomping Ground if we needed to. And I'd rather go ahead and get the Serum Vision to try to dig for some more lands without taking too much damage. So we'll draw. We drew a good one, and we will scry 2. These are 2 really good cards on top, but unfortunately, I think I have to bottom them. We will be shuffling them back into the deck soon, so even though they're on bottom, it's not that big of a deal.
Alright, I'm just going to play a land and say go.
Alright, well, we did draw a land. Play this, and I don't feel the need to do much of anything just yet, so we'll pass turn.
Alright, I will fetch and get, let's look at my hand here real fast. Let's go and get Steam Vents. Man, we might be in for the long game this one.
It's fine with me.
Yep, that's the game he wants to play. That's just fortunately what our hand looked like. So I'm just going to just play a plains and say go.
Alright, we'll get a stomping ground. Going to 18. There's one tedious thing about Modern and Legacy is just fetch lands into dual lands just makes it so that you have to shuffle a bunch.
And they're just like the absolute best thing you can do, so there's no reason not to play them.
Yeah. Like there are some decks that want to play like Suppression Field main deck and things like that, but for the most part, fetch into dual is just gravy.
Yep.
Play that and pass turn.
Alright, I'm just going to untap and draw and play this and say go.
Alright, well we're continuing to hit our land drops too, so we're okay playing this game. The problem is our deck doesn't have a ton of answers to Celestial Colonnade, so we do have to be careful that we don't just end up dying to that in the super late game. But one way to do that is to make sure we don't take too much damage from our lands. And he doesn't necessarily know that we side out all the combos, so it is rather dangerous for him just to start attacking on turn 6. But yeah, that's fine.
Alright, Serum Visions, we drew this, which isn't great. Alright, well we want both of these cards because these will really help us figure out what we want to be doing this game. So we'll keep them both on top, play this, and say go.
Alright, we'll go ahead and fetch. I guess I'll get a breeding pool.
Okay.
Now, normally what I have in my sideboard for this kind of a matchup is something like Thrun the Lastral, an uncounterable threat that can't be hit with targeted removal. But I want to try out a little bit of a different sideboard configuration, so I currently don't have one, and that is probably going to come back to bite me. Alright, so 17 to, you're just at 19, right?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, I'll pay a blue for a Gataxian Probe.
Okay.
Check out what's going on over there.
So he gets to see our hand.
Alright, so leak, click.
So now that he sees it, I want to point out that I could have been clicking a lot of times, but I didn't want to just flash in an end of turn click, have it get electrolyzed, and then gain nothing from it. So I wanted to wait until either he tapped out or I had access to click plus mana leak on the same turn.
Alright, so I've already drawn. I will play this. I will attempt a Spellskite to potentially brick off his bolts and such.
So I don't know if this mana leak's really going to get any better, so I'll go ahead and mana leak it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Here you go.
He already has a bunch of lands in play, so... Alright, now it's our turn to get to see what's going on. So I'm going to go to 17 and probe.
Bunch removal.
Alright.
And a couple counters.
So
You're
it's...
paying 2 life down to 17.
Yep. Explosives. So... Okay. Pyro. Charm. Dispel. Bolts. And I get to draw a card off of that. And he knows we have this Whirling Hunt, so I'll just get it out there. And I'm just going to pass the turn. So
Draw
here I'm going to actually do this during draw step because if he draws something like a Tarmogoyf, I don't want him to actually cast it. So.
Oh, you're a good one.
Ooh, jeez. Alright, electrolyze. Well, I can't do much about that, so he gets electrolyzed.
Alright, you go 16, I draw for Electrolyze, and then Click's ability will resolve.
Choosing you.
Yep.
And it's a couple more lands. What is there any new card?
I drew the Electrolyze in a land, other than what
Okay.
you already knew.
Alright, so here I kind of want to just say like let him keep them all because none of them actually like do anything to pressure me. But part of me also wants to get rid of the Dispel because I could see that being the biggest thorn in my side. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of the Dispel.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, since you have the path, a Tarmogoyf is not a huge deal unless I have the Dispel. So.
Yep, exactly.
Alright, well, all things considered, I will just play my land and pass.
Alright, so here I'm going to make a spirit token with Moreland Taunt. And now I know that he could bolt plus charm a colonnade, but I think I'm okay with that, so... Well, actually that was a pretty good draw. But he does have Pyroclasm, so maybe it wasn't as good as it seemed. So, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and... Maybe this is super aggressive, but... I know he has a Bolt, a Charm, a Pyroclasm, and Engineering Explosives, and a land. So I'm just gonna get this colonnade.
Sure.
And attack for 5.
Alright, I will... Alright, take 3. I should have played my Scalding Tarn. I'm stupid. I'll just go try to kill that.
Sure.
So I go 3 and then, or sorry, I take 3 and then 4, so I'm at 13.
Correct. And I'll pass the turn.
You're still at 16?
Yes.
Might not have been worth it because he still has the other colonnade, but...
Soaks up 4 damage and... Yeah.
Alright, I'll pay a blue for a probe.
Alright, I have a Cryptic and a Monastery Mentor, Snapcaster Path.
Alright.
So I could have played this instead last turn, but I still know he has like a bunch of removal and Pyroclasm, so I think it was better to just get in with Colonnade.
Yep. Go.
Alright. And you have 2 cards in your hand?
Yep. At least 2.
Yeah, Pyroclasm and Engineer Explosives. You don't want to play Explosives on 2 and blow it, do you?
Not really.
Alright, I'll go ahead and fetch and get a Steam Vents. So that drops me to 15.
Go.
Alright. We'll draw. Attack for 1.
Yep. 12 to 15.
I guess here I just go ahead and play this Monastery Mentor.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
I'll go to 11, get another Steam Vents.
Yep.
And on my upkeep.
Yeah, I'm going to Pathagoyf on your upkeep. And trigger the Mentor. And that way it's big enough to survive Pyroclasm if he casts it this turn.
Yep.
So if you want to search for a land, you can do that as well.
Get out of here, Tarmogoyf. Cut.
Sure.
Alright, draw step.
Yep.
I will attack for 4. 5 Spellscape.
Just want to take 5 here and go to 10.
Alright. I'll play Engineering Explosives on 0.
Sure.
And pass turn.
Good. Let's untap, draw. Alright, so now, well, let's just start with a Serum Visions as our first play.
Okay.
And we draw this, and we get to scry 2, and I don't want either of these, so let's quickly put those on the bottom. Play a land, and I just want to go to combat here, so let's attack. Or go to combat.
Yeah. Alright, I will attempt to play a Pastorite.
Sure.
Alright, I'll tap this.
Sure. Attack for 3.
I'll take 3 down to 9, 9 to 10.
I had you at 11.
I think you're right. Alright, so I'm at 8.
Yeah, I'm at 10. Go.
Upkeep.
So yeah, upkeep. I want a Snapcaster Mage and Path Tarmogoyf. That might be a greedy line, but we're gonna take that line.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna get punished because I don't have the Exploring Twins in my deck. But wish I could draw one right now. Just pray that it worked. Cut. Would love to draw a removal spell for Mentor since it's not going to die to Pyroclasm.
And so this is a new one, but these are 2/2s and this is a 3/3 right now.
Yeah.
And that one's just a 1/1.
Mm-hmm. Guess I'll just say go.
Okay.
Cryptic in his hand is a little awkward for me. Luckily, we can shut down his tokens, though, with the engineer explosives. But
Alright, I will draw. You're at 8.
mm-hmm.
You have 2 cards in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can kill him this turn, but I'm not 100% on it. Depends on what that last card is. I think there's a way to kill him regardless what the card is, because we have this Cryptic. We know one of his cards is Pyroclasm. So I think if I just Path to Exile your Pestermite and trigger Monastery Mentor, that would be step 1.
Yep.
And combat.
Yep.
Send on in the team.
Alright, I will crack the explosives to kill all the tokens.
Yep.
And I'll take 5.
Down to 3.
Yep.
Bolt you.
Yep, got me. Drew the land.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had the bolt when I pathed your Goyf, so even if you did have Twin, I was still safe.
Sure. Alright, I'm on the play here for game 5, and my hand is pretty good. Hopefully this Serum Visions can draw us into another land and some gas. So.
Our hand's pretty good too, so I'm going to keep.
Alright, so for that, draw an okay one. 2 cards on top, I'm not sure about. I think I'm going to bottom the expensive one and top the cheap one. And sure go.
Alright, so we draw this, which I think we're actually just going to lead with it.
Alright, 17 Tarmogoyf off the Stomping Ground.
Okay.
Here you go.
Alright, here we'll just play a Flooded Strand and say go.
Alright, well, we're not unhappy if he paths us, but we obviously want to get some clockage in with this Goyf. That's a tilt. I will attempt to play a Spell's Guide, and if he wants to counter it, that means our Goyf's going to get a lot bigger. If he doesn't, that means we can protect it from path, which is both fine.
This is an interesting one. Let's suppose it's going to be like super annoying this game, so I kind of just want to counter it. Yeah, so I'll manually get...
Alright, hit you for 5.
Alright, 15.
15 to 17, and no land drop, and it's your go.
Alright, no land drop's good for us.
Obviously. Oh yeah, you're 14. Sorry.
Yeah, I take 5 and fetch.
Yep.
Draw. Alright, well that makes... This was the line, but I think this is just a much better line at the stage in the game. So, Pyromancer, pay 2 to probe.
Yep. So you're at 12.
Yep.
2 bolts, Keranos, Pestermite, Snapcaster Mage.
Alright.
We bottomed Keranos and then drew it immediately.
Bolt, bolt. Pester, snap.
Dead card.
Kronos. Alright, I'll draw from this.
Yep.
Oh, I can't do that actually. I'll take 2.
Yep.
10. Go. Let's go ahead and upkeep Path to Exile.
Alright. I guess we get an island. Not quite sure.
And I'm happy that he does not currently possess the card Pyroclasm. That's good news for
Oh, we're going to draw immediately, don't you worry.
I'm not worried. I bet you will.
Alright.
Pathing there's a little gross because of Karanos, but it is what it is.
Right, we'll Pestermite, untap this, and bolt this.
Sure.
Here you go.
Draw.
Take 2. I'm at 15 to 12.
Go.
Draw. Attack step.
Yep.
Attack for 2.
8.
I will attempt to play Snapcaster Mage.
Oh, I have to mana leak that.
Alright. It's a little awkward. I really wanted to Serum Visions to try to draw into another land for Karanos, but we played right into the mana leak, which hurts.
6. Oh, attack for 2.
Alright, 13 to 10.
And Monastery Mentor.
Yep.
I'm actually at 8, but for what it's worth.
You're at 8?
Yep.
Okay.
I had to shock myself at some
I'll
point.
try to put you to 5.
5.
I guess that means that my Pestermite is dying.
I'm at 3.
I'll bolt you.
I'm dead.
Okay. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that other bolt. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, he knows about all these bolts already, but I just drew the other one without. Yeah. Hooray! Very aggressive. All right. Well, post-game analysis. Teamer Twin still Teamer Twin. Has 2 very distinct different game plans. As you could see, I just cut all the Splinter Twins and was able to successfully win 2 games after sideboard. So not really reliant on the combo, which I love about the deck. However, Young Pyromancer and Monastery Mentor felt very, very, very good against me.
Especially Monastery Mentor.
Oh, yeah.
In particular. That seemed like that game where I was able to go like Mentor, Probe, something else, or Mana Leak your removal spell.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm kind of thinking the Monastery Mentor is almost on par with Young Pyromancer as far as the older the formats get, the better it gets.
Yeah.
It might end up being better, which is a pretty strong plus for a card, like a recommendation, because honestly, I wasn't that afraid of Young Pyromancer. The 1/1s were whatever, but the 1/1 with Prowess were just a beating, a giant beating.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome like that. With 2 spells in my hand, I even got to blank your Pyroclasms.
Yeah.
So like that game 4, I guess, where I had Snapcaster and Lightning Bolt in my hand, and I got to like Snap Path your Goyf. If you cast a Pyroclasm, I can just bolt your Pestermite, or bolt you, because the Pestermite would die to the Pyroclasm.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I have like my Mentor and a bunch of my tokens all survive it. And I mean, you did still have the Engineered Explosives, but you're basically just dead at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I was super low on resources and life, so it wouldn't have mattered too much. As far as this deck is concerned, play a Thrun. Jeez Louise. Maybe even 2 Thruns. I don't know how popular red, white, blue control or red, white, blue variants are going to be, but these decks that have 8 1-mana spot removal spells and 3 or 4 Snapcaster Mages are just hell on your secondary game plan. And if you have access to Thrun or some other giant hexproof threat, which Thrun I think is just the best one, then it makes your life a lot easier. And I really felt not having it in this matchup in particular. As for the main deck, the Jaces did not seem that great. Even though you were a token deck, I felt like if I ever tapped out for it, I was in a lot of trouble. You had Mana Leak, but I can only imagine it's even worse if you have Remand, because I just spend my whole turn doing nothing while you draw a card, make a token, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, lower the curve, keep it low. Don't really think Jace is that good anyway. I don't know. It felt like it could be a good card advantage engine, but maybe you just want something else.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this deck. I mean, it felt great. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Could maybe have a little more velocity to it. Things like Electrolyze that cantrip and really keep the fuel going for your Pyromancers and Monastery Mentors. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I was really happy with it. It seemed pretty sweet. Yeah,
I'd love to get the 4th Snapcaster in the deck. I'd love Electrolyze in the deck. Run it very similar to how Sean McLaren built it. for Pro Tour Born of the Gods, where he won the last Modern Pro Tour. But just have these, creatures in your deck that can pose a huge threat to your opponent. But yeah, as we've seen, Pyroclasm not that great against Monastery Mentor, which is disgusting, and I hate it. But yeah, that's all I got. But anyway, hopefully we didn't play either of these decks because we broke it with something else at the Pro Tour. But I don't know. Expect me to play Teamer Twin, I guess. I don't know if I can get off of it.
Expect me to have probably played Siege Rhino, but who knows? Maybe Monastery Mentor.
Maybe that's your boy. Maybe that's
both
all of our boys.
Maybe both in the same deck.
Ooh. Yeah, we're not going that deep. No. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's all for me. For Braun-Duin, I'm Todd Anderson. See you Wednesday or Friday. I don't know.
Or Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, some other day in the week. We got a lot of stuff.